What if I told you that a procedure taking less than 5 minutes, requiring no tools and not a single penny spent, could literally transform the daily behavior of your car? Imagine for a moment being able to clear those annoying little electronic glitches yourself, those quirks that seem to appear for no reason, and restoring full responsiveness to an engine you found sluggish. Think of the satisfaction of turning off certain dashboard warning lights, the very same lights a garage would charge you a small fortune for in diagnostics and labor without a second thought. It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? And yet, it's a tangible reality, a set of techniques well known by expert technicians and car enthusiasts for many years. The most incredible part is that this knowledge is now within your reach. It can save you precious time and a lot of money, while giving you an unprecedented sense of control over your own vehicle. Hold on tight, because some of the methods I'm about to reveal are surprisingly effective and can solve problems you thought were much more complex. Let's start with a remarkably simple technique concerning your automatic transmission. Over the miles and with time, modern gearboxes known as adaptive transmissions learn your driving style and can sometimes become less responsive, hesitant, or seem lazy. To restore their original sharpness and logic, here's the procedure to follow. It's a real facelift for your gearbox. Turn the ignition key to the on position, just before starting the engine, so that all the dashboard lights come on. Then press the accelerator pedal firmly and completely to the floor and hold it in that position for a good 10 seconds. While keeping your foot firmly on the floor, turn the ignition off by turning the key to the off position. You can now finally release the accelerator pedal, and then wait quietly for 2 full minutes before touching anything. This simple sequence, seemingly innocuous, resets the memory and shift logic on a vast number of car models, giving you smoother, faster, and more relevant gear shifts just like the day it left the factory. Let's continue with another essential component, the throttle position sensor, which insiders call the TPS. Problems at this level are a frequent cause of jerky acceleration, hesitation, or an idle that seems unstable and erratic. Fortunately, on many vehicles, especially from Japanese manufacturers like Toyota, Honda, or Nissan, a manual recalibration is possible and very easy. Turn the ignition on without starting the engine, wait for exactly 2 seconds, then press and release the accelerator pedal quickly 5 times in a row. Then wait for about 10 seconds, and then start your engine normally. If the operation is successful, you should immediately feel a better throttle response and an idle that becomes perfectly stable again. If these first few tips already seem useful and you want to fully master your vehicle so you're never caught off guard again, now is the perfect time to join us. By subscribing and turning on notifications, you won't miss any of our future videos that give you back the power. It's the best support you can give our channel so we can continue to share this valuable automotive knowledge. Now, let's talk about the great classic of resets, the most well-known but also the most powerful method, disconnecting the battery. It's the hard reset technique for cars, and it remains incredibly effective today for solving a myriad of small issues. Here's how to proceed methodically and completely safely. Turn off the engine, remove the key from the ignition, and make sure all doors are closed. Open the hood and, using a suitable wrench, usually a 10 or 13 millimeter, disconnect the negative terminal of your battery, the one that is black or marked with a minus sign. Never touch the positive terminal first. Next, get back in the driver's seat and hold down the brake pedal for 30 seconds. This action might seem strange, but its purpose is to close an electrical circuit to completely drain all residual energy stored in the capacitors of the electronic system. Then wait for at least 15 minutes, or even 30 to be sure, before firmly reconnecting the negative battery terminal. This prolonged power cut erases the random access memory or volatile memory of the engine control unit, the ECU. This forces it to relearn all its fundamental parameters like idle speed, the air-fuel mixture, and the limits of the throttle position. It is often the miracle solution for turning off a check engine light that came on due to a minor and non-permanent sensor fault. Of course, you'll lose your saved radio stations and the time, a small price to pay for restored peace of mind. Be careful, however, on very recent vehicles equipped with a battery management system, or BMS. This operation can sometimes require a visit to the shop with a scanner to tell the system that the battery has been disconnected. If you want a more surgical and targeted approach, you can opt to remove a specific fuse. This advanced method allows you to reset only the engine control unit, or the transmission control unit, without affecting the rest of the comfort systems. Locate your fuse box, the location of which is indicated in your manual, often under the hood or behind the dashboard. Look for fuses labeled ECU, ECM, PCM, or TCM. Once located, gently remove them for 10 to 15 minutes, then put them back in place. This is the ideal method for recalibrating an electronic throttle or clearing specific error codes after performing a repair, without disturbing your car radio or GPS. Sometimes after a fault deemed serious, your car may go into limp mode, voluntarily limiting its power to protect the mechanics. Even after the problem is solved, this mode can sometimes remain stubbornly active. To deactivate it, the methods of disconnecting the battery or removing the fuses mentioned above are very effective, especially on older models from brands like Nissan, Volkswagen, or BMW. This will save you from being stuck at 3,000 revolutions per minute or driving with the power of a snail. I repeat, only reset this mode after you are absolutely certain that the initial mechanical problem has been completely fixed. After disconnecting the battery, it is very common for the idle to be unstable, or for the engine to even stall. Do not panic, this is a completely normal and predictable reaction. The ECU has simply lost its learned idle values. To reteach it good manners, start the engine without turning on the air conditioning, radio, or headlights. Let it run at idle for 5 to 10 full minutes, long enough to reach its operating temperature. Then turn the air conditioning on to maximum, and let it idle again for another 5 minutes so it can learn the additional load. Finally, drive normally and gently for about 10 minutes. The ECU will thus relearn precisely the airflow, fuel mixture, and timing necessary for a perfect idle under all conditions. After a wheel alignment or a battery loss, the stability control light may come on. This is because the steering angle sensor has lost its 0 point. To recalibrate it, start the engine, then turn the steering wheel completely to the left until it stops, and then completely to the right until it stops. Bring the steering wheel back to the center and drive in a straight line for a few dozen yards. The system should recalibrate and the light should turn off. You should know that there are crucial moments when you must not perform a reset under any circumstances. If your car is overheating, if you see a visible fluid leak under the vehicle, if the transmission is slipping, grinding, or jerking violently, or if you notice abnormal smoke or burning smells, never try to mask the symptom. In these cases, the problem is mechanical and serious. It requires the immediate attention of a professional. A reset would only delay an inevitable diagnosis and, most importantly, could worsen the damage. Systematically remember to perform a reset after replacing an engine sensor, whether it's a mass airflow sensor, an oxygen sensor, a temperature or pressure sensor. If you don't, the ECU may continue to operate with the old, stored faulty data, thus nullifying the entire benefit of your repair. A simple battery disconnect or fuse pull, followed by an idle relearn, is then an essential step. Regarding lights related to active and passive safety, such as ABS for brakes or SRS for airbags, caution is paramount. Clearing them often requires specific and professional diagnostic tools. It is absolutely crucial to never clear these codes to mask them. First, reliably fix the fault, and only then clear the code. Your safety and that of your passengers are priceless. Finally, my very last piece of advice, the simplest but perhaps the most useful in the long run. Keep a small logbook of your interventions. Each time you perform a reset, note the date, the method used, and the symptoms that were improved or not. This will allow you to build a personal maintenance history, valuable for your future diagnoses, and for identifying whether a problem is just a passing glitch or the warning sign of a more serious failure. You are now armed with a powerful arsenal of techniques to communicate with your car's electronics, to heal its minor ailments, and to finally take back control. Share in the comments which trick you've already tried, or which one just saved you from a costly and unnecessary trip to the garage. Together, we can build a solid knowledge base for all smart drivers. If this video taught you something and potentially saved you money, show us with a thumbs up, share it with a friend who might need it, and above all, subscribe so you don't miss any of our future guides. Drive smart and never again be afraid of a simple light on your dashboard.